Glenn Metz was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, within the notorious Callio Projects. The area, known for its high crime rate and poverty, shaped much of Metz's early life and would serve as an epicenter for his criminal enterprise. Detail about his earlier years remains scarce, but it is clear that the economic conditions of the Callio played a significant role in steering him towards a life of crime. Metz's entry into the drug trade began in the late 70s and early 80s, a period when New Orleans was grappling with the influx of drugs, particularly crack cocaine. Metz quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating a shrewd business acumen and a ruthless approach to competition. By the mid-1980s, he had established himself as a major player in the city drug trade, controlling a significant portion of narcotics distribution in the Callio Projects and beyond. When crack cocaine took root in New Orleans in 1987, it seemed to spawn a pattern of crime and unpredictable as the drug itself. Drug dealers moved onto the street corners as fast as others were arrested and killed. Alliances formed and dissipated from one big sale to the next. Profits evaporated to thin smoke of overnight addiction. During this period, the Metz Crew emerged as one of the first organization drug gangs in the city besides Sam Scully's crew. After Sam Scully was gunned down in the Callio Projects in 1987, the drug market in New Orleans exploded with violence and mayhem. Metz Crew had dominated narcotic sales in several public housing complexes since 1985, maintaining by killing anyone who dared to compete. In the early 90s, the NOPD began to crack down on gangs, arresting over 150 members and enforcers. In 1992, a significant blow to the Metz organization came when enforcer Derek Mahone broke out of the Louisiana Training Institute in Monroe. During the time he was free, he was arrested and released 6 times, 4 times on weapons charges. In 1993, he gunned down a man and barely survived. Mahomes was shot 17 times by 3 men who opened fire on him with submachine guns in the parking lot. Following the trail of tips through rural Mississippi, in 1993, federal authorities tracked down and arrested the last fugitive, Danielle Metz, at an apartment complex in Jackson, Mississippi. Metz was tracked down after information led U.S. Marshals to Yazoo City, Mississippi, where several residents recognized photos of the suspect. On December 15, 1993, Danielle Metz was convicted of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute cocaine, continuing criminal enterprise, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, and money laundering. In 1992, enforcers General Meatball Arthur and Gerald Elwood were arrested and indicted with 10 other members for murder and cocaine distribution. Arthur, who was suspected of killing 70 people, was arrested in a Seattle restaurant where he was hiding out as a dishwasher. A spokeswoman for the U.S. Marshal Service said Arthur is believed to be hiding out in Seattle for 2 to 3 years. In his role as an enforcer, marshals say Arthur is believed to have machine gunned to death 3 people and wounded 2 others in the so-called Earhart Expressway ambush in 1990. On another occasion, marshals claim Arthur confronted a government witness in the housing projects and machine gunned the man's in his legs, leaving him as an example to others who might consider testifying against the Metz group. Law enforcement officials also believe Arthur was the trigger man in the Sam Scully murder, although they were never able to get any sound evidence about him on that case, which remains unsolved to date. Glenn Metz's story is a reminder of the persuasive influence of the drug trade in urban America during the 1980s and 1990s. His rise to power and eventual downfall illustrate the challenges law enforcement faced in combating organized crime in the economic disadvantaged areas. Despite his criminal activities, Metz is often remembered as a product of his environment, a figure whose life was shaped by the harsh realities of the Callio Projects. Today, Glenn Metz remains incarcerated, serving his life sentence. His legacy continues to be a topic of discussion in New Orleans, symbolizing both the city's struggles within drug-related crime and the enduring impact of the economic disparities of its residents.